Welcome you all to this much anticipated committee meeting. Your enthusiastic feedback has brought us here today to explore the topic you found most compelling, sharing good practices. We are truly astonished and deeply grateful to see that 105 participants from all over the globe have registered to join us for this meeting, and as you can, and still are getting and joining this meeting from the moment. I am Shpresim Domi, chair of Eastern Europe Committee, part of the Global Agritourism Network. I am also a lecturer and researcher at Agriculture University of Tirana, and also member of Albanian Agritourism Association. Our focus for this meeting is on particularly inspiring theme-based agritourism, the case of Albania. Today, we have the honor of hosting 3 exceptional cases, in fact, that showcases unique and innovative approaches in agritourism. These pioneering efforts will not only highlight their successes, but also provide us with invaluable insights and practical ideas that we can adapt and implement within our own context. I'm delighted to introduce our distinguished speakers, who are also esteemed owners of agritourism ventures. Today, we are going to listen to Elona Bejo, representing Ferma Albanic, and she will speak about wellness agritourism. This is the theme that she will talk about. Mariana Koceku from Neomalsora Agritourism will discuss about old lifestyle agritourism, the Highland Albania. And the third one will be Ioana Bano, owner of Fustanella Farm, who will explore the theme of autochthonic seeds and ethno-cooking. Let's embrace this chance and engage in interactive discussion, share our perspective, and build a stronger and more collaborative community. Your participation today is not just about listening, indeed, but about contributing to the dialogue and taking away ideas that can drive progress in our respective fields. Together, we can create a ripple effect that enhances agritourism practices far and wide. Let me share a short presentation. Again, as you can see, today's topic discussion or good practices sharing or knowledge sharing and so on will be about the theme-based activities. This is the case of Albania, but I'm sure that all over the world such aspects are already existing and will be, of course, implemented. Again, this is a meeting in the framework of Eastern Europe Committee online gatherings, part of Global Agritourism Network. And as majority of you, as you maybe know already, this is a volunteering network. And I want to exploit the moment to invite those that are not yet part of Global Agritourism Network to click on the link I have shown you, which could be easily find it even through Google search and so on. A Global Agritourism Network is a fantastic opportunity that brings together very diverse stakeholders related directly and indirectly to the agritourism development phenomenon all over the world. Shortly, the agenda of this meeting is I'm going to make up to 2 minutes introduction about the concept theme-based agritourism, and then we'll go with 3 cases presentation. And then you have the opportunity to make your questions. But please keep in mind that due to the limited time available we have, go ahead and write your questions on the chat of the meeting here. Theme-based, what are these theme-based activities? This is a concept already defined, where World Tourism Organization and European Travel Commission says that a theme is a destination's key attributes, characteristics, or unique propositions, and give character and identity to a tourism asset or activity. Some of the common, some of examples of themes are architecture, landscaping, and design, food and drink, music and dance, trails, itineraries, and roads, and cultural events. Team-based activities in agritourism perspective nowadays the agritourism are a reality that exists, but recently the agritourism are restructuring, reshaping their marketing strategy, aiming to offer their products on a thematic basis. A team-based activity is for an agritourism is a specific marketing strategy that at the core of which it stands an activity or set activity based on a complex combination among anthropogenic and natural resources where the agritourism is located. It's local based, this combination of anthropogenic and natural resources, aiming to achieve a niche market. Through a theme-based product, agritourism farms, after all, wants to improve its performance through gaining more customers and even more their loyalty. Now, if there has already joined us Elona, I would not uh, use or exploit more time, but I want to pass to you, Elona, the floor for your presentation.
Do you hear me, everyone?
We hear you clear.
Okay, thank you very much for the invitation. I am outside in a rural area here, but I'm in Croatia. Once you live in a rural area, you cannot go back to city life again. It becomes addictive for some reason. So yeah, we are here gathering with other women from all over the world that live in rural areas, and they are learning how to deal better with obstacles that are in rural areas, of course, because there are many, and everybody that lives in rural areas knows very well what they are, but also about all challenges and opportunities that are in rural areas. Because I would say there are more opportunities in rural areas than everywhere else in the world. It's everything to be done in rural areas. If you have some imagination and some power to do things and some energy, you can do whatever you want. Agritourism is a magical word, I would say, that connects tourism with rural areas and that brings solutions to many problems that are in rural areas, as we talked. So it brings solution to employment. It brings solution to finding markets for other farmers around agritourism. It brings solution in bringing back infrastructure, but it brings solution also for social issues in rural areas, because we know very well that social life in rural areas is really poor, let's say. So this is probably one of the main reasons why young people are abandoning, are leaving the rural areas. So I would say that agritourism is a great opportunity and a great solution for revitalizing the rural areas. Um, Beyond that, I would talk a little bit about my project. It's been 10 years that I have started. I have my echo. I have my echo behind. I hear my voice. Okay. Yeah, it's been 10 years that I went back to the countryside of my parents, and I built a very small ecotourism small hotel with a small camping area with a small restaurant. And I didn't know at the time that this small thing, it would be so important and big and inspiring for many other people that like to do the same, but that think that is impossible, or that think that it's quite hard, difficult, and challenging for at least for a young woman like me. I'm not young anymore, but 10 years ago I was younger than that. Yeah, and it was a great success because it's something that everybody wishes but not everybody can do. So it brings a short time solution for people that want to go out from countrysides and to be in another environment, more, let's say, healthy and inspiring and quiet and regenerating, like agritourism is. So nowadays, we are at least 20 families around the farm that work together to bring to tourists from all over the world some very good products from our area, and some very good specific culinary that comes from that specific area where Ferma Albanic is, jams and glico, which are some very specific culinary specialties from our area, or some pies and some rakis or rehani. Like there are some juices made with fruits from the region, etc. But it's not only the culinary, and it's not only the good products that we can find in rural Albania, but it's also the magical nature that we can find in these areas, and a lot of activities that are connected to nature, like hiking, biking, canyoning. um Recently, a lot of people are coming back to rural areas for some retreats, some resourcing activities like yoga retreats, meditation retreats, silent meditation retreats, which probably for some of you are strange things to hear, but people come to stay in silence for a whole week without saying any word, because since we are born until we die, we don't stop talking. So people need to just not talk anymore. So there are some new things coming up with the evolution of the human society that agritourism is solving or is embracing, probably. So yeah, I don't know if you have any question, but this was pretty much what I would say about my project.
Yeah, I would just guide you in terms of the what is your identity here, because the question will be later through the chat, and maybe we'll have a chance to answer to the participants. But yoga and medicinal plants, as far as I know you, it's something that is really quite special, even compared to the all other agritourisms in Albania, at least that I know. What would you say about why you chose to follow this direction? It was a successful thing. It helped you to improve your performance and so on.
Yes, I would say that agritourism is, of course, is a 0 kilometer thing. So you need to have to use all the resources that you have around you in order to bring to the market something very specific, but also to be sustainable, also to help families around, and to not spoil nature, or to not spoil resources, or not to spend gas or energy to bring food from one part of the world to another part of the world. So I really love that concept. So it aligns with my ideology, and it aligns with me as a person, as an entrepreneur. But apparently, it aligns with a lot of other people that come and visit. But medicinal plants, they connect very well with and well-being, and health and well-being connects very well with activities, physical activities like yoga and other sports around nature. So that's how I came up with the idea of combining everything all together and making a product that has that is holistic, that has all the elements to make it a whole solution, or a whole experience for my guests. And I think I hit the point, because it's working very well. And I'm having a lot of reservations from different companies from all over the world, or different yoga retreat teachers that come. They bring their guests and they spend sometimes 5 days, sometimes a week. And this is growing, and I'm also specializing. So I'm specializing on building new platforms, new spaces for people to come together, etc., etc. And it's endless story.
Elona, thank you so much. Really heartfelt thanks to you for these unique good practices that you have built for your own business and sharing with us. It seems that you have to connect the local area with your business, but it's not enough. You have to connect it even with your own soul. Your
Yeah.
personal identity should be put it in the offer in terms of the agritourism activities offer. So thank you so much again. If you have
Thank you so
time,
much.
I would really appreciate to stay with us and then to answer to some questions to the attendees that might have. But however, feel free. I know they are part of the training. It seems you are on the training because I see you very inspired and so much inspired about
Yes,
this
I
topic.
am.
Thanks again.
Thank you so
So
much.
th- let's go ahead with the next case, another unique case, I would say. Here we have Mariana Koceku representing No Malsura Agritourism in the north of Albania. Mariana, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. I am Mariana Koceku. I'm 24 and I come from Albanian Highlands. Um, it's one of the most isolated areas, actually, not only in Albania, but in the whole Balkans. That is because there is no car road to reach us. And we have a very beautiful lake, but we have it only since 1985. Before that, we didn't have a lake. We had a wide river, which meant that people had to walk 3 days to go to the city, or 7 hours or one day to reach other villages. So my grandfather, when he wanted to buy oil for the lamps, salt, and other goods, he had to hike 14 hours back and forth to get these goods. So I am born and raised in a very, very authentic area, because the other part of being so isolated and having quite a hard life to kick in, it was that it made it possible for us to be, yeah, I would probably say the most authentic part of Albania, and not only, also in the world, because it's very unique and very isolated from the other sides of the world. Luckily, we started being explored from the world for our existence and beauty of our mountains and lake, and a lot of cultural heritage that we have through history. So it's a huge fortune that we work with tourism. My father was the first captain on the lake, so this is how the story of tourism started for my family since 2010. And I grew up in a very, very Highlander lifestyle life, where we had to go and fill the water. I think maybe for most of you, you have seen these movies like fairy tales or cartoons, but this was our life. My parents actually worked so hard for me and my other siblings to go to school and to get educated, so they could get the hard life out of our back and out of our reality. But with me, it happened different like they expected. After I finished university in my studies for political science and international relation, I really decided to go back to my roots, because it's a great treasure of anthropology, of history, ethnography, and our traditional dresses are protected from UNESCO, since existing since 4,600 years. So there is a lot to do, a lot to see, and a lot to feel, above all, in our mountains. So we have a very little agrotourism, family based. We have like 5 rooms, 8 tables, and we also do the boat tour because it's the only way to reach us. And we have some very beautiful and lovely animals, like we work with cows, we have a lot of goats, which are my favorite, and ducks and chickens. And we do most of the food ourselves, because being mountain area and having long winters, like 6 month isolation and 7 month winters and snow, it's part of our gastronomy tradition to preserve a lot of food, mostly pickling. So we have a lot of pickled food that we do, also sweet food that we preserve through the winters, and jams. So this turned to be a great treasure as well for serving it to tourists. And I'm very happy that we still have families who live in our valley, which means that we collaborate with them, we buy from them, we have some local artisans that we take other equipments, handmade crafts, and this is actually great, and I feel lucky to still have them. And what my dream is, when people ask me, it's not enlarging. I'm not a fan of building huge businesses or being that entrepreneur. No, I feel more, I identify more with a farmer, and what I love is that people to turn to their roots, to embrace their past treasures, even though they came from very hard and suffering past, and to start restoring their houses. We have a very unique architecture. Our architecture is called Kula, and it's only part of the northern mountains, where everything is with stones, mostly carved with the local people hands, and they are just amazing, fabulous. I don't believe that we need to build new things. The greatest thing would be to restore the old things what we have, and to maintain them as a treasure also for the outside people who would like to visit, actually. And we didn't have electricity until last year, so yeah, when I started to come back after my studies, it was me that I would wash the clothes of tourists as well with my hands, like 3 hours a day. It was very much back to basics completely, and doing things from scratch. When I see these viral videos in social media from Nara Smith and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, in Balkans, we do this since 8 years old. It's nothing new from us. And but after all us locals, we collaborated and we brought electricity, and we don't have reception here. There is a special corner where you have to go and raise your phone if you want to talk with someone, or when I want to reach my other locals, I have to go on top of the hill and scream so they can hear me. So it's a time traveling, actually. When you go there, when I bring tourists to locals, they feel like, oh my God, I stepped 200 years back, and they don't believe that it still exists. And actually, this is what it connects me more with this place. And of course, that tourism, it's what it keeps me there, because if you don't have tourism and work and enough profits, it's a quite hard life to stick to this. My ancestors did for hundreds of years, but I feel so lucky to be born in these times when tourism exists, phones exist, you can network, you can have such meeting, and you can meet people from all around the world. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I would be very happy for questions and answers with you. And thank you.
Thank you again, Mariana, for accepting our invitation, first of all, and introducing your very special agritourism you are managing. It seems that it's not enough to have a very beautiful landscape, place, and so on, but you have to put your efforts to address the challenges that almost and usually are on these remote areas that you have to personally deal with them. But I guess you are an inspiring case. You are a very young lady and very famous one, mostly maybe, I guess, for addressing such big challenges and creating your own identity in this respective. Now we have the last but not the least, another very unique case, I would say. Fustanella Farm, owned by Joanna Bano, and she will present us about a very unique topic, which is about autochthonous seeds and ethno cooking. Joanna, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hello.
We hear you, Joanna.
Okay. Hello, I am Johanna. co-owner from Fustanella Farm, together with Blondie, my friend, my partner in business. We built the concept for our farm, Fustanella Farm, organic farm, and Fustanella is near about 10 minutes from the center of Tirana in Petrella Castle. We have Mediterranean, Albanian, and ethnic cuisine. We have organic vegetables, seasonal food, and local wines, selected local cheese, local meat. And our concept is from seed to fork. The farm-to-table restaurant serves food inspired by the traditional cuisine from the hearths where the fustanella has been worn for centuries, and it's still worn. Fustanella, maybe you know, it's traditional gown worn by men in Albania, and not only in Albania. We have taken recipes from all the map of Fustanella, where Fustanella is still worn. And we have today, every day, every week in our Fustanella, because our menu changes every week, depend of our product. Of course, at first, Blondie and me concepted Fustanella with one other concept, native seeds. Native seeds, this concept was very important for us about our farm, knowing the numerous benefits of this kind of seed, and of course the benefits about the biodiversity, about the local economy, etc. At first, we tried with old people that they cultivated this kind of seeds with old way. Of course, not always we had the best results. But maybe we understood the wrong steps, or the wrong generally. And now, after 6 years about pandemic, after pandemic, we have a collaboration with the Genetic Bank of Albania. Now we have this value more continued way, because with old families, of course, is so nice, but not always is with good results and with these benefits. We think the best value, the big value of this concept is not only for our business or for our farm, but is about the community around nearby us, and not only for the new generation to know this value of all the region around. And we have the obligation to educate the new generation about the value of agriculture. And this is the reason that our farm is a didactic farm for the children, for all the schools about around Tirana, and not only about the professional university and college, to know about agriculture, the values, and to know the values of agriculture for our life. Of course, we collaborate with new farmers, around. Of course, we respect the concept of kilometer zero, but not only because we love and we respect the Albanian products and local products from all the map of Albania, because we think that to promote these products, we help the economy, the local economy, and of course we help the young generation to stay in Albania, to work with agriculture, and in the end to be proud to work in agriculture and of course in our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joanna. Yeah, it seems based on your case, it seems that if you want to create your own identity or create this team-based activity, it's necessary to be part of the network. It's necessary to collaborate with institutions, local farmers, and so on. By the way, in Albania, Genetic Bank is a unique institution that provides really significant support in terms of conserving first these autochthonous seeds and then trying to renovate them through planting on plots in the agritourism farms. This is very important connection between these two stakeholders, at least in Albanian perspective, because agritourism is a fantastic exhibition platform for such old things, for such local related identity things as autochthonous seeds are in this case. And Joanna has very smartly exploited this opportunity by creating its own identity on autochthonous seeds, ethno cooking, and so on. Thank you, Joanna, again. I really appreciate your presence today. And now we are going ahead, and as you can see, why it was interesting to attend this, or first to organize this meeting and attending by you. First of all, as we can see, we just shared 3 good practices based on Albania. But as you saw, we had 3 ladies, young ladies, leading agritourism in Albania. It seems that in Albania, it's agritourism sector is led, in fact, it is by women, which is a very important message to spread all over the world, that agritourism really empowers the woman in general. And of course, we saw 3 very unique cases who has built their own identity based on different themes. As we are discussing today. But each one of you is free to judge and to reason about 3 cases we just listened. Then, yes, it's a good opportunity, this one. It's a good opportunity, this topic itself, to start and thinking about going more in depth and investigating. Is it really important, the theme-based activities for agritourism performance? And we, all of you, I'm speaking mostly to those that have academic background in this case, to start thinking and making an international-based, worldwide-based research to see that, yeah, it is really important, these theme-based activities on agritourism performance in terms of having new customers, customers loyalty, more revenue, and so on. And the third outcome of this meeting is that, again, it's not enough just sharing good practices and maybe making research, but let's think about starting together a project worldwide, in Europe, or doesn't matter, to support other cases in not only in Albania but in Europe and other countries, maybe through a project to accelerate these cases, these good cases we listened today. And now is the moment of questions and answers from the distinguished speakers we had today. If there is any question on the chat, let me see first. Okay. In written chat, there is just one question. Parker Jones asks, do your customers tend to be from your region, the capital city, or international? And how do you market to these customers who are potentially quite far away? The question, it seems, is for all three distinguished speakers.
I can start if if it's okay.
Yeah, Leonard, go ahead.
First, I started with regional customers from my area, from Girocastra region in South Albania. And then it spread to the capital, of course, because I also have connection. I have lived there forever. So friends of friends spread the word. And then slowly I built some platforms like website. I build an Instagram page. Probably I will share them with everybody on the chat. And this started to grow the audience. So now my audience is really it's a target group, really specific target group, because not everyone like the activities I offer. So I'm really channeling to be as competitive as possible in the market, because the market is growing. It's growing in Albania very, very fast, but it's growing in the whole region and in the whole world, I would say. So yeah, and then I of course am in all platforms like Booking, Airbnb, TripAdvisor, and find in many channels online. You should underestimate the technology that is growing also very fast. So rural areas and technology, I think they have a very strong and indispensable, how you say, a very strong connection between, and yeah.
Mariana?
So me as well. When I first started myself, actually, I went into platforms like Booking and Airbnb. But first of all, I built a personalized website, and I come from an area that is a huge tourist attraction, one of the main tourist attractions in Albania. So actually, we have a very beautiful river, a great lake, and we have the Alps. So it's quite well known. But what I used to be noticed in the middle of many other accommodations were firstly these platforms, and then where it was Instagram. And posting this off-grid lifestyle Instagram with the animals, it spread the word even quicker. But also the fact that I was young and I was a girl and coming back in a rural areas, which has a very patriarchal past, it gave me more attention from people. And now actually I'm not anymore. I decided to go out of Booking and Airbnb and all these platforms. I'm only keeping my website. And how people reach me is because we were featured on Financial Times, on some great documentaries in Rai Uno in Italy, in Holland, in Arte, Germany. So there is a huge audience that got to hear about our existence. So this is how it goes. And I'm very active on Instagram, where you can see my reels with animals as well.
Thank you, Mariana. I guess Johanna lost the connection, but we can go ahead. There is some, we are going to manage the time, so I really ask to be patient to Mariana and Elona. Someone else asked that, how is the process of cooperating with rural tourism agencies, in case you have?
We don't have actually rural agencies, because where I live, there are very few families left. It's a very isolated rural area still. Like now, there is zero movement. We work only from April to November, and then nothing exists anymore. It's only a few houses. But there are 2-3 agencies. Maybe we collaborate. But actually, my interest it's not in agencies, because we don't have huge capacities. I only have 6 rooms, a glamping tent, and a place above the farm, above the goats, where people can sleep. So yeah, the requirements are very high, but I'm not very interested in, let's say, having more agencies to be with.
Elona, if you
Yes, I'm the same as Mariana because it's as I told you before, the farm is really small. I have just 15 bed, so I don't need to spread the word more than that. And I think Mariana and me have the same concept of not becoming too big to keep it as authentic as possible. The experience that guests have in the farm. So no, I don't collaborate with other agencies or companies.
Great. I do share the same thing that over tourism with authenticity, with authentic, let's say, activities, it doesn't go well with each other. Another question is about your challenges. I know that there are a lot of challenges, but let's say some one, two most important challenge you are dealing with.
Challenges are endless. So it's infrastructure, first of all. So we don't have roads. The road to come to the farm is really difficult. Not every car can make it. And then we have electricity cuts time to time. And then we have difficulties to find employees and difficulties with the weather conditions. So we have a lot of challenges. But slowly you learn how to not fight with these challenges, but how to turn these challenges into opportunities. And I think this is the innovation that agritourism brings to the world as a solution, because above all difficulties, you come up with a very interesting solution that beats everything up. So I wouldn't say that you should focus more on the challenges, that you should focus on the opportunities and the possibilities that are in the rural areas and in agritourism in general.
Where to start? So yeah, we electricity it's also part of the problem. Like we take the drinkable water from mountain sources, like very high in the mountain in front of the house, and then with pipes under the lake and up to us. And when there are very dry months like July and August, actually the water goes off. And the thing is that still when we buy anything that we need, it comes by a car to Koman, and then by a boat for an hour, and then we have to carry it by back. So this is part of the package as well. And in this time, I mean, if there are strong storms, it's quite dangerous to navigate with a boat in the lake. And also human resources with immigration in Albania, it's quite challenging to find people to work with, actually. And so these are in general the problems that we have. And but another thing, I mean, I'm an agrotourism and I want to find as authentic, handmade, handcrafted possible, but the people who used to know how to work with the wood and the snow and the stone and the metals, they either died, or the ones who are left, they don't do it anymore. They gave up from it because of not enough incomes from this. So it's very hard to find people who can work something natural for the business and for something like that.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Honestly speaking, by my perspective now, as far as I know, agritourism challenges itself are a kind of attraction for tourists. It's always about tourism experience. So sometimes these kind of challenges, yeah, are yeah attractive for certain typology of tourists. Raimonda Idina she's writing about, I would like to apply for a construction of a guest house or agritourism near Tirana. I have a land. I would like to hear a little about the steps I must follow. Here I can answer. It's a complicated process, generally speaking, Raimonda. And in Albania, there is a law in place who guides has set up some rules to follow. But yeah, agritourism is a priority indeed by policy making. It facilitates the process of permit, construction permit, and you are advantaged. I mean, in the case you want to build this guest house. But for the moment, for example, there are no any specific grant directly supporting, but with your own money, you can do it. Generally speaking, is prioritized, let's say, agritourism, construction, and so on. But we can get in touch for more details. I mean, in this case, but in case Mariana or Elena wants to give any feedback, you are more than welcome.
Elona Munem se më duhet mu shkut. May
Po,
I?
po,
Yep.
patjetër, patjetër.
Sorry. So actually, people think that you should have money for doing something. I mean, of course, money is necessary because this is how the system is built. But honestly, when I started, I literally had nothing because I don't come from a rich family and neither did I had a network. I was only 20 and a half when I started. So what I found it very important in this journey, it's to be honest and to love what you are doing. Like you should really be aware of the history of your family, of where you come from, how they lived, what kind of treasures does the mountains in the area around you have, and all my success, for example, it's based in a storytelling. I heard the stories my mother grew me up with, and I learned the histories of the wars and everything we went through, and I would tell this to tourists, and they would appreciate it 100 times more, the place where I'm living. I mean, I definitely would rather go and spend more money somewhere where I know that it has a history to tell and people went through, let's say, a chain of actions and traditions, rather that somewhere where it's super comfortable and has everything, let's say, materialistically to offer. And above all, stay authentic, like how people used to live, let's say, a few decades or 100 years ago in your place. I know it's hard, but I really think that passion always finds a way to bloom. So these are my advices to youth and to everyone who wants to go to this journey. Stay strong in your tradition and in your authenticity and really love it what you are doing.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mariana.
Yeah,
Well, okay. Sorry, Elena.
Mariana is a very, very, if you want to do an agritourism, you should absolutely embrace all the values that are around your territory. Otherwise, it will not work. But I think the question of the lady was a little bit more practical. So in terms of taking permission in the municipality, on the local offices, we know that it's really complicated, difficult, especially in Albania where corruption is very present, I would say. But there are also some, let's say, gaps in the law that if you use them very well, you can construct with not going through very difficult procedures. So, for example, my construction is light construction. So it's all on wood and in piloty. So it doesn't need a real construction permission, like a real whole procedure to go through. So there are some gaps in the law that we should use in order to make it easier for ourselves. So I would suggest the lady to ask a professional on how to find some easy solutions on the construction part of her project, and I really wish her luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Elona, again. Now we are almost on time to close this online meeting. Again, thank you so much to all of you. In case if someone to have a question or comment, it might be the last one maybe. And if there is any case, let's speak up and make a question or comment. Otherwise, Otherwise, I would consider the final moment of this very, very interesting meeting, I would say. Heartfelt thanks to all of you who participated. In case you want to get in contact personally and want to join the Eastern Europe Committee or Global Agritourism Network, you are more than welcome through the link I just provided at the beginning of the presentation, or we can get in touch personally. Again, thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon in other virtual or in-person meetings. Elona, heartfelt thanks to you personally. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Presim.
Bye to all of you. Thank you.